Oh, fuck me. Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and variations thereupon. I am the Merciful Zeus, and welcome back to the park. We're having a pretty interesting time of it so far. Just heard a metal as fuck version of Hansel and Gretel. So now we are gonna go back in and see what else we're gonna find. Let's go. Okay.
Callum! Hansel and Gretel. I used to read it to Callum when the electricity was shut off. Those poor children. The whole world against them. The forest, the birds, the old witch, even their own parents. I used to imagine that Callum and I were the kids in that story. Not mother and son, but brother and sister, hand in hand against the unkind world. We were always hungry, looking for our own house made of candy, looking for the sweetness that could take the pain away. Hunger leads people to desperate, terrible places where the tree branches reach like claws. Come out, sweetie!
So yeah, that's gotta be a version that they wrote specifically for this, because, I mean, I know that the original fairy tales are way more fucked up than the versions that we hear now, and it's to their detriment, but I don't think that I've ever heard of a version where they actually eat the witch. That is pretty extreme. I could be wrong, though.
Another accident. This place. Where did you go?
Okay. Despite the constant interruptions to work, Atlantic Island Park will be opening on time. The governor is booked to cut the ribbon, so the only real question is whether we'll have any customers. I'm not truly worried the customers will come out of simple curiosity. I deduced what was needed from banned writings of Archie Henderson. Astonishing to think that resonance of positive emotions can be used to fuel such a process. Henderson himself chose the negative, and that caused some of the taint that still lingers in this place. I will not make the same mistakes. Very soon I will know if this has all been for nothing. So, Winter is using the park to fuel something. I don't know if that's why he built it, or if that's just like an added advantage, but he's using people having a good time at the park to fuel something that is inherent to the area, whereas Henderson was doing the opposite. It's actually kind of an interesting little device there. Now we're in Pripyat. Fantastic. So are we just gonna visit each one of the rides in turn and get our little short story moment?
Callum, come back here right now!
Damn it, kid, cut that out. It's the Mega Hexadecapus. Whatever that thing was called.
This old thing used to make the blood run to my head. Make me dizzy. The guy just snapped. Those poor
Wait,
kids.
what? His name is Norma Creed. Statement, we were waiting for our turn on the ride, Frank, me, and the boys. This fellow in the chipmunk suit is making an ice carving. Well, oh no. Well, people took photographs. I just wanted to go over him, though I've been a bit wary of those suits. They give me the creeps. It's silly, I know. Anyway, the chipmunk man, he was carving, picking away at the ice. And at first we thought he was making some animal, like a tiger or a lion, but as more and more ice fell away, when you first looked, it was like a human face smiling out of that block of ice, but the more you looked at, the more you saw that there was something not quite right about the proportions, something unnatural that made your heart begin to beat just a little faster, like you were prey and that thing in the ice was a hunter. Then these teenagers walked up, and one of them made a face at the carving and said something rude to the guy in the chipmunk suit, and then, well, he went berserk. For a few moments, it was chaos. Everyone was running away from the guy. I had one of the teenagers on the ground, and he was stabbing with the ice pick, and blood was spraying, and people were screaming, and Frank and I had the kids, and we were dragging them away as fast as we could. And the last thing I saw before Frank dragged me away was that the eyeball of one of those poor kids had landed on the ice sculpture, making the horrible creature look more or less alive. Charming. You know, I went to Six Flags once when I was a kid, and I got a soda, and I took a really huge sip, and I realized there was something moving in my mouth, and the entire soda was full of live ants. I think because I had set it down somewhere for a second. So that's the most horrific thing that I've ever had happen to me at a place like this. Octotron. Dum-ba-da-bum-ba-da-bum. Interesting.
I can't get on while it's moving.
Okay, yes, I'm gonna have to... Okay. Who's gonna stop it, though? Yeah, no part of this is a good idea. This is an exceptionally terrible idea. Oh, crap. What the hell are you? Dude? I like your hat. You have good fashion sense, I'll give you that. Well... Shit. Okay, so I think...
Treachery hides in thoughts. Treachery that lashes like a whip and scars our insides. The first time I saw Callum, my thoughts betrayed me. I looked down at this wrinkled, red, bawling thing and I thought, is that it? We build our world from expectations, and the world that I had built for Callum was no different. He was so real, so there, and so far from my expectations. They shattered, and as they fell in pieces, that one treacherous thought became a new foundation. All of the love that we shared, All of the warmth and goodness that followed, built on a single, traitorous thought.
Wow. We're gonna have to find 8 of these. I thought working in the park for a summer would be a lot of fun, but the end of season here really drags. There aren't that many tourists around, and so most of the staff spend their days standing around gossiping. Most of that gossip is about Chad. I mean, Steve. See? Even I'm starting to call him Chad, and I went to school with the guy. It's that goddamn suit. In the beginning it was a laugh. Steve the local lush is Chad the chipmunk. Child-friendly mascot of Atlantic Island Park. Lock up your daughters and all of that. But the more he wears the suit, the weirder Steve is getting. At first it was the little things, like refusing to change out of the suit at work and taking it home with him every day. I don't think you're supposed to do that. But then I saw him at Susie's Diner still wearing it, and it wasn't even a work day. Some of the staff complained discreetly to the park management about the smell. And I saw him walking and talking with Mr. Winter one day. But nothing seems to have changed. The suit still smells like a carcass whenever Steve walks by. And apparently Steve picked up some new skills since the last time I saw him. Peeking up in a gutter outside of the Psycho station? Because he sure as hell can carve a mean ice sculpture. Those shapes he was making in the ice, though, they give me the creeps. Steve came by the booth today, lucky me, and he was just hung out for a while. I couldn't really tell because of the suit, but it seemed like he was just staring at me, sizing me up, eye-fucking me, whatever he was doing. I asked him what he wanted, and he just stood there not saying anything. Eventually, I called my supervisor over. Steve wandered off. My supervisor told me to put everything in writing, so here it is. Also, I quit. I don't want to see that chipmunk suit ever again. Laura Henman. So Steve is dead, I'm guessing, but Chad hasn't stopped moving him yet. Oh! Laura, is that you?
Mommy needs to see you, Callum.
Can I get in there? You're still there, which is impressive. Usually, I would have expected you to have disappeared by now. I don't think there's a way in. Still there. Wow. Huh. That's actually worse, really, than if it just did the obvious thing and disappeared right away. What the hell are you?
Where are you?
It keeps telling me to go that way, but I want to see what's over here.
Constant crashes and 80s music. Guess it floats someone's boat.
Should kindly find a crowbar or something. Okay, so I started up there. That was the House of Horrors we passed earlier. We didn't want to go into. Spin around the loop up there to bumper cars. Okay, since it seems to want me to head to the Ferris wheel now, I'm going to go up around there, and then I'm just going to cycle back around through the roller coaster and catch the bumper cars on the way back, since we've already seen everything that's down that side of the path. I don't have to worry about doubling back around too much. And then I guess we'll head on to Sideshow Alley and the House of Horrors. Presumably we're going to find a flashlight in here at some point. Or turn the power back on, maybe? Oh. Sorry, light. This is the one problem when things like this have a more non-linear structure to them, is that usually that path ends up looping back around on itself, and it kind of makes backtracking inevitable if you want to make sure you see everything, no matter which way you go. I mean, it makes more sense than if this whole park was laid out in a single file line for some reason, but I don't know, it does make it kind of awkward. Turn to clear vision. Nice detail on those. Oh, okay. I guess I am supposed to go the other way then. That clears that up rather nicely. Frustrated by the fact that the plans seem incomplete. I know as well as anybody that the rules of the game can be changed with enough money, but no matter how much money talks, it can't conjure up missing plans from thin air. I've tried contracting the organization who sold me the plans, and they are stonewalling me. Every contract that I had, every meeting place that I've had watch are swept bare. I have a sinking feeling that I have been swindled. We've gone ahead with what we could find in the plans regardless, the harvesting machines, the transport mechanisms, etc. I'll let Nicholas name them something cute for the day we open the park. They will be rides after all. What the fuck are you planning here, dude? You know, it's interesting because you get places like your Silent Hills or what have you that seem to draw out emotional stimulus or draw in emotional stimulus, or, you know, they feed on it or they inspire it or something to that degree. You don't usually see a whole lot of people intentionally attempting to manipulate that, you know, creating an environment that will create emotional responses for the mystical shit and not the other way around. That's actually pretty interesting. Okay, so I guess we'll check out the bumper cars. What is it she has on her wrist?
No.
Is that her?
Son, don't do it! Son, please!
That's unusual.
Where are you?
I suppose it's possible that this whole thing could be a hallucination of hers right now, but I don't think it's very likely, because we know we're already dealing with a universe that has weird shit confirmed in it. Usually you only pull the it was all a hallucination thing when you're trying to not actually confirm that there's weird stuff in your world. So do we get to ride this one or not? I guess not. No, I was looking forward to it too. There was something hanging out of that tree for a second. Remember, it's like the beginning of Half-Life 2 where you'd get the thing spinning really super fast and then try to jump on it and you'd always get flung off. Yeah, that was fun. Oh, wait.
What is this about?
When Nathaniel Winter, billionaire mogul, announced his intention to build an amusement park in the fog-shrouded shores of Solomon Island off the coast of New England, there were sniggers up and down Wall Street. Winter, who made his fortune through a series of savvy investments during the post-war boom, has long been considered an eccentric but brilliant man. His passion for the New England region has always been a forefront of his investment portfolio, with him pouring funds into local businesses, small and large. In general, his business sense and investments have paid off, and due to his generosity, Winter enjoys a friendly relationship with the governor and other key political figures. So why with a track record like this are the Wall Street wizards shaking their heads? Because they're so good at predicting things. At first glance, Solomon Island is an odd choice, a tiny town called Kingsmouth, ha ha ha. The sleepy Main Street and a preppy academy for dropouts from Boston, a lighthouse that is already in the process of being automated, and a belligerent tribe of natives who were very recently involved in a dispute over the Blue Ridge mines. Doesn't make sense, one commenter pointed out. New England has a short summer this far north, and the number of visitors to Solomon Island per season are limited. I don't see how he expects to turn a profit. But others have far more faith in Winter. Under condition of anonymity, an engineer who has seen the plans for the park notes several anomalies. He's digging far deeper than is needed for an amusement park, including several underground chambers which are too small to house machinery. If you ask me, the old man is looking for something buried beneath the island itself. Could this be the real reason that the eccentric businessman has relocated to this remote northern island? It's this corporate misdirection of the highest order by a crafty entrepreneur. Disputes over the Blue Ridge mines with the native population ongoing. There is definitely something buried beneath Solomon Island. Perhaps Nathaniel Winter is going to surprise us all. So is he tapping into an existing cave structure? System of ruins that were already down there, maybe? Dissuade them. They have sent an inspector to investigate the accidents at the park. I've given him the grand tour and spoken about all of our safety upgrades, but he seems unconvinced. You're being really inconsistent about your capitalization, dude. In this case, the park itself is working against me. This dour man has become more and more intractable the more time he spends in the park. I've offered to pay for his stay in the Overlook Hotel to get him out. Overlook Hotel. To get him out of here. It seems to have made him even more paranoid. I don't think this man is going to allow my park to stay open. This is a disaster for my ultimate goals. So were the accidents intentional? Or were they actually just accidents? Because it seems like he needs this thing to stay open and functional.
Wait, Callum!
I can't go down that way then, so is there another way I'm supposed to go?
Callum, tell Mommy where you are.
Mother duck said quack, 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 quack.
The sound is leading me back this way, so presumably this is where I'm supposed to be going.
Come back.
Still there? Hello?
Mommy needs to see you, Callum.
There she is. Yeah, I tried following the trail. It wasn't working too well.
Callum? Come to Mommy, Callum.
Is there something else I'm supposed to do here?
did you go?
I mean, that way was a dead end. That way was a dead end. I shall check the map. See, the stairs down to the roller coaster were out. I don't know if there was any other thing I could do there. I guess my only option is to go back around the Octotron, past the entrance, and see what happens. No, I actually thought they'd solved the backtracking problem, but this is...
Oh, I remember this.
What's wrong with your faces? You guys doing that on purpose?
Callum, stay where you are.
It sounded like I was coming that way.
Where did you go? Stay where you are.
This way, Mom.
Yeah, no, he's telling me to go this way. Did you make up your damn mind, kid? What's up?
Callum, stay where you are.
Here.
So you just want me to find the photo then? Does that make sense?
Don't hide from me, Callum.
Catch me, Mommy.
Stop, Callum!
Is that really coming from out here? Oh. That wasn't always like that, was it? Was it? Accident report. Francis Frayne, I think that's how it's pronounced. 76. Labor working on crane. Supervisor Richard Stapleton. Witness Lawrence Creed. Creed? Was that... Is Creed the name of the witness in the other one? Well, Entworth. Brief description of the incident. During the transport of the bumper cars into the arena, one of the straps attaching the load to the truck came untied, causing a cascade of bumper cars onto Francis, who was standing directing the driver. Francis was crushed by the weight of the car. Describe any injuries caused. Francis was killed. Did the insured employee see a doctor? Yes. Supervisor Cummins Dexter, the truck driver, claims to have seen someone on the back of the load undoing the straps. Nobody else reported seeing that. The sheriff has requested that Dexter provide them with urine samples. What can be done to prevent the accident? Double checking the straps after transit should be mandatory, and drug screenings for all drivers. Have unsafe conditions been corrected? No. Oh, crap, crap, crap. Oh.
Callum? Callum!
Okay. Very nice.
It's a matter of public record that I am a failure as a mother. Once, when Callum was very small, I left him asleep in the car while I ran an errand. Don't even remember what it was. When I came back, the sheriff was standing next to the car, watching my boy through the window. I didn't like what I saw in his eyes. Judgment. He wrote me the ticket without saying a word. Just the scratch of his pen on the notepad. When he gave it to me, our eyes met. I know what you're going through. My daughter, Helen, she just gets some help. Help was a bolt of lightning. Help was 1,000 volts surging through my veins. Help is agony. I'd rather die. I wanted to scream. I'd rather you pulled your gun and shot me. But instead my mouth said, "Yes, Sheriff."
Okay, so before we find out what fun new mysteries the lighthouse holds for us, I'm gonna call it there. Thanks for continuing on this strange little journey into mystery with me. Zeus out.